I'm curious. So when I was first introduced to you, I knew you as Nadia.
Yeah.
And now I know you as Natalie. So
Yeah.
where did Nadia come from and why the switch up now?
Natalie is my birth name. That is on my birth certificate. Nadia was a Middle Eastern nickname from my dad's side. And so I just went by Nadia. But Natalie, I went back to that. Before my mom wanted me to go back to my birth name.
But was that to disassociate yourself
Right.
from Octomom?
That had a lot to do with why.
Okay.
It was too, closely connected to the pain I felt with Octomom.
We are all getting our first look at Octomom.
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 So after the media firestorm, you were then labeled Octomom.
Right.
When you hear Octomom, what does that make you feel?
When I first heard it, I thought it was a joke. What does that mean, Octomom? Okay, 8, octo, that's 8. I have 14 kids, I don't know what's going on. I kind of just dismissed it. I had a lot of other more important things to concentrate on, and my children and their health, their safety, their well-being, that's all I really cared about.
Your health and well-being as well.
Yes, of course, and then I was very fortunate to be very strong and healthy. Yeah, so no, I kind of put it to the side. I was in denial. Oh, it'll go away. All of this, the chaos, the pandemonium that enshrouded me and my family, it's going to dissipate. So that was denial, and it never really went away.
No,
No.
it didn't. So, even the titles of the movies have
Right.
Octomom in them.
I am desensitized. I'm at peace with it.
Yeah.
It's a joke to me because my older kids sometimes call me that, Octomom. They don't.
We got one of them in here today, too. Do you call your mama Octomom?
Not the whole word.
It's
Aki.
No, you call her Aki?
There you go.
Elijah. And one of your kids even has you in their contact as
Yeah.
Octomom.
Yeah,
That's just hateful, kids.
What are you doing?
I'm working to feed my family.
What are these?
We have an offer for $1 million. You're the star.
I have to sell stories to take care of my kids.
How did you go about finding that perfect actress to portray you?
Oh gosh, Kristen, I did not know her. They chose her. She auditioned.
Honey, she's a
and
dead ringer.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I spoke with her for a long time on the phone. She is very, very, very talented. Like an incredibly gifted actress. It's
Yeah.
unreal. I'm so grateful they picked her.
But the looks, I was
Everything.
just like, what?
I don't
This
know
is
how she even got the
unbelievable.
demeanor, like my anxiety. I'm so anxious. I've always been so nervous.
Yeah.
Nervous by nature. And she got that down. And I don't know, my kids went crazy because they heard the voice.
Right.
Like
It was spot on.
I was surprised, like in a very positive way.
Yeah.
She did an amazing job.
Definitely had to do a double take there.
Your name is plastered everywhere. Octomom is a welfare mom. Octomom had 8 babies just to be famous.
These are all lies.
So the fertility doctor implanted 6 embryos into you, which is more than what most medical professions would say would be safe.
Sure.
And he didn't do it just once.
Right.
He did it twice.
Right.
Now, putting aside the love, the care, the light that you have for your children.
Right.
What would you like to say to that doctor now and how what he did impacted your life?
Right. I did take accountability because it's my choice to go back to try to have one more, but that's the fact. I wanted one more, not 8 more. 10.
But let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Why did you want one more?
Right.
You already had 6 children. That's a handful. That's a Brady Bunch.
Right, of course, true. But there's not one factor alone that influences our decisions. One of the many factors was, what was driving me was guilt and grief. I have a child who is profoundly autistic. Yes, there could be, clearly, being rational, he would be a handful, and he is my life. He's my full-time care. Though at the time, my mind frame was that of grief. And many parents make decisions in that emotional frame of mind that may not be really rational or the best decisions, but they do so out of that guilt and grief. And that's one of the primary drivers as to why I wanted one more.
And you didn't get one more.
No.
You got 8 more.
Right. I ended up getting diagnosed with endometriosis. Then I found Dr. Kamada.
Kamada implanted 7 embryos at one time. The recommendation is just 2 embryos.
What he did really impacted your life. It shook you.
Right, and I still want to take accountability.
Right.
Because I don't put all the blame on him. Yes, I do have a regret not filing a lawsuit against him. But he did lose his license for gross negligence, medical malpractice, barred from practicing medicine in America ever again. But nonetheless, he didn't, in his defense, he transferred the same amount of embryos.
Every single time.
Every single time, based on my past reproductive history. 5 to 6 were transferred. So he did not try to be this mad scientist and transfer 6 when 2 are recommended based on my past reproductive history. Where he went wrong was doing a double transfer because my uterus heavily contracted.
Right, you did 6.
And then he transferred 6 more because he and the embryologists were certain that all of the first batch of 6 had expelled because of my uterus contracting.
Wow.
No one wanted, I would never have wanted more than 1. Twins, that would have been a handful, but twins, I get it, I had twins, but no more than 2. So, of course, that in and of itself seems outrageous.
And then you got 7, and then you're like, oh wait, there's one more.
Right, they did not know there were 8.
Honey, the story could, I mean, it just gets, it is something.
Whoa, yeah.
Once you delivered the babies, you thought just like any mom, okay, we're gonna pack up and head home.
Right. That was my plan.
Wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't the case.
So you essentially were, you were isolated from your children.
Right.
Your phone was taken away.
So bad.
You were taken to a safe house. What, can you explain exactly what happened?
I can't even get into detail. There's so many, oh my goodness, it was so many different, so much trauma.
But was that none of those things were your choice?
None of that was my choice, correct. There's so many different, one of which the PR from the hospital, due to liability, they insisted I did a press conference. I refused because I wanted my privacy protected, and they went ahead and did a press conference without me.
The babies are currently in stable condition. The babies' weights were from 1.5 pounds up to 3 pounds and 4 ounces.
And there were people that went into my records illegally, and they wanted to sell a story to the media, which they were successful at doing, whatever they could find, and they were terminated. And then there were, the reason I ended up in the public eye was because they called the media.
And that was never your intent?
Never.
You wanted to go under the radar with your 14 children. You never wanted to be
100%
in public.
My goal, my plan was, and I was already talking to the director at a children's daycare at my university because I needed to graduate. I was in graduate school.
Right.
And my goal was they were allowing them to go back, 8 of them. They were making room from them. And then I had no idea. Unbeknownst to me, they had to minimize it for the dramatization. There was actually hundreds of helicopters from around the world. There were thousands of reporters in front of the hospital. So then they wanted to take me to a private place, and I couldn't see my kids. They confiscated my phone.
And they made you do that interview, the network interview with Ann Curry.
They didn't make me. They didn't hold a gun to my head, but they said I could see my kids as soon as I finished the interview.
That kind of sounds like making you if you want to see your children.
Right.
You later went on to file a lawsuit against
I did.
And you settled.
Yes.
So
out of court, yes.
Out of court,
right.
But you won that in a sense.
Right,
so.
and they had to pay a fine to the state.
Explain to me again why you cover up.
For sure, it helps with my social anxiety. Nobody knows. They look and they look away. It doesn't draw any attention because people don't want to look and stare.
The docuseries is present day life, right?
Correct.
In it, we see you wearing, it's almost like a beekeeper's hat.
Yeah.
And then this covering.
Yeah.
Why do you cover yourself?
Oh,
when
I
you're out in
love my
public?
hats. I have many.
But
of the
did you bring them to New York City?
Yes, of course I did. So I brought it here, but I didn't wear it because my hair is naturally curly and frizzy, and it just would have made it look.
Yes. So in between your media appearances, you're rocking the hat.
I have a sun scarf that I'm putting on my head. No, it's from the sun because I haven't exposed my skin to the sun without sunscreen in like 3 decades.
Well, you have great skin.
You got to protect your skin from the sun. And then I found this incredible hat, so I don't have to do that.
But Natalie, it's got to be more than just the skincare and the sun.
It's a multifaceted hat. Sun number 1, people, social anxiety hat number 2. And so it's great. No one looks at me.
You've been doing this for years, or is this in lead up to this docuseries?
No. I discovered the hat. I'd say the year I discovered it was 2017. So I bought many of them. It's actually a fishing hat.
Okay.
But it's got SPF built in. And then I wear a sun scarf underneath.
Natalie, what do the kids think of this?
They don't care. They're totally accepting of it.
Elijah, are you really accepting of this hat?
They mock me. Like I have.
Of course. Yeah, that's what kids live to do for their parents.
I have so many funny stories too about it.
Are you accepting of this look?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like, I won't wear it to one of their graduations or anything.
Okay.
I won't. I'll just put lots of sunscreen on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I love my hat. I love it. I've had to take the front part off because I scare some people sometimes a little too much.
My goodness.
Oh, well.
The main reason why we're doing all this is just get the truth out there.
This is our story, the real one.